Hello, everyone, and welcome back to God of War. It's time to do Inside the Giant World Serpent thing. So, yay.
This is my favorite minigame in Banjo-Tooie, because if you just stand still and hold right on the control stick, you'll spin around in circles and automatically score enough points in order to get the G game.
I have a question. Does any actual living thing in the real world have 2 rows of teeth like that?
Some sharks do.
Sharks, yeah.
That's cool to know.
Actually, I think great whites. Great whites and whale sharks.
Why are you closing the mouth? Oh, he just wanted to eat us, the dick.
Well, I mean, would you want to sit there with your mouth open for 3 hours waiting for this guy to come back out?
Clearly, he's never been to a dentist.
Also, our boat should be disintegrating in his stomach acids.
Well, this isn't
currently.
We're not in his stomach yet.
Oh, well, it says we're in the belly of the beast.
Also,
checkmate, atheists.
Also, if he's like a snake, the digestive process would be extremely slow anyway. So, yeah.
That is a good point.
So, the king of rows of teeth, I guess, if we're giving the crown to somebody, the bull shark has 50 rows of teeth.
Nasty.
I feel like this is a point of stylistic difference between new God of War and old God of War, because like right now, if we were playing, if they were trying to make a level like this work, there's the fizzing acid. If they were trying to make a level like this work in old God of War, they'd try to make like all kinds of sweeping camera angles and stuff, so that like you got the biggest, most badassest effect of whatever part of whatever part of the world serpent you were in at the time. And you know, but like here we're leaning into the whole dark atmosphere angle of things.
Yeah, this would have been a gauntlet of enemies in the OG games.
A gauntlet of
like as you're slowly
gauntlet
like
of enemies with like
traveling through the snake
camera angles and shit. But
yeah,
it's a good thing that he didn't chew when he was swallowing this interactable puzzle element.
and there'd probably be like a giant shithole that you can like kick enemies into, and then they get digested. You know, some nice little macabre
I mean,
humor.
if we were going by shark teeth logic, sharks don't really chew. They rip and tear and swallow, but they don't chew.
Well, that is also, snakes do tend to eat things whole. Like they just kind of swallow, and then I believe the biting is mostly just for. Is it poison or venom?
Injecting
I know they're
venom.
They like they like go so far as to detach their own bottom jaw so that they can open their mouth wider.
Also, Ted, venom is something that gets injected into you. Poison is something you ingest, like swallow.
Okay.
Ah.
I knew that there was a difference between the two. I couldn't remember which one was which. Is the thing, because I know that like some.
Oh, see, I didn't know that. I didn't know like the act of being poisoned was something because of ingestion.
Yeah, so I know that like a frog is usually poisonous because if you touch it, it's bad. A snake is usually venomous because if it bites you, it's bad. There's an easy mnemonic device to remember this, actually. Venom is bad to eat because it is like black and will turn you into a Spider-Man villain. Poison is bad because it's a band from the 80s nobody likes.
I don't think I'm going to remember in that one.
Well, that's okay. Most people don't remember Poison either, so. Actually, no, that's not true. People remember Poison, the Street Fighter / Final Fight character.
Yeah.
Is Poison in Street Fighter 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, they did 5 season passes, so I would assume so.
Is Street Fighter 5 good yet?
You know, I still have not touched Street Fighter 5 since that initial release.
That's unfortunate because it has gotten better.
I've had no interest. Oh, no doubt. Like but I also like everybody else called that whole fucking thing was like, yeah, I can't wait to play it again in like 5 years when it's actually finished.
Yeah, but now 5 years later that it is actually finished, Capcom announced Street Fighter 6. So, you know,
Which means like it's I don't know, Just stick to Street Fighter
It's
5.
like, you know, Street Fighter 5 is fine as it is right now. Like, it has some cool mechanics, and its roster is actually decent at this point in time. But at the same time,
Is it as large as like Hyper Street
no,
Fighter 4?
That's what I was about to say. It's like
No?
nowhere near as close to that size of roster. Let me like actually like check how many characters Street Fighter 5 has now. How many?
And you probably have to buy all those season passes to get everybody, I'm guessing, right?
Street Fighter 4 had a similar like opening problem with Street Fighter 5, but like at some point it did like get super fucking better.
I think the difference is that the PS3 was the last generation where people were okay buying an Ultra version, because Marvel vs. Capcom 3 had the same problem.
They did release the Champion Edition for Street Fighter 5, so you can just get all the characters at once. It now has, actually, I want to say 35 characters.
Yeah, that's still a considerable amount, yeah.
Ryu, Chun-Li, Nash, M. Bison, Cammy, Birdie, Ken, Nikali, Vega, Armika, Rashid, Kareen, Zangief, Laura, Dalsim, Fong.
You said Bison twice.
Excuse me. Alex, Guile, Ibuki, Balrog, Juri, Urian, Akuma, Colin, Ed, Abigail, Minat, Zeku, Sakura, Blanca, Falk, Cody, G, Sagat, Kage, E. Honda, Lucia, Poison Gill, Seth, Dan, Rose, Oro, Akira, and Luke.
The Professor and Marianne.
Don't forget Goku and Goku.
Oh,
Goku,
it's
Yeah,
45
Goku.
characters. 45 characters. Never mind.
That's a
45,
good
okay,
roster
yeah.
for that kind of game.
Yeah, that's a sizable roster, yeah. I mean, again, I'm glad that it got to that point. It's just fucking man, I fucking hate bare
How
bone
many
releases, dude.
characters does Street Fighter 4 have? Let me see.
Like at the tail end of its run.
Ultra Street Fighter 4 has 44 characters. So actually, for Street Fighter 5 has one additional character.
Does Luke really count though?
I don't know. I never actually.
What's happened here?
Sorry, most people I know who play Street Fighter are just like don't care about Luke at all.
I'm looking for my
Luke was the blinder one, right?
Yeah, he was the last character that was very clearly meant to be like the first new reveal for 6, but since the original 6 was clearly based on rumors just not testing well, they kind of shunted him into the last thing of 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
One thing I will say is that Street Fighter 4 does like have a few more clone characters than Street Fighter 5 has. Like they leaned a little too hard into the Ryu copies in this roster, because there's Ryu, there's Ken, there's Akuma, there's Old Man Masterman or whatever he is. There's Evil Ken. There's Oni, which is evil or Akuma. There's Sakura. There's Sakura.
Kage.
There's Dan. And in general, they don't have as much difference between those characters as they do between the Ryu-styled characters in Street Fighter V, where they put a little bit more effort into differentiating their movesets, you know? So.
Oh boy, it's time for family drama.
Oh no.
What did Freya do that...
Cast an immortality spell on him, but that robbed him of like all senses.
No, but I mean, like, that made Atreus not like her anymore.
More or less, they figured out that's what she did to him, which makes
okay.
her a little unhinged in her own way.
Still angry. I know that how you feel hasn't changed.
Well, I
but
mean,
want
she
you
just
to-
wanted him not to die, I guess, which seems
Yeah,
like
but at
her-
the same time, it cost him like all feeling. You know, can't taste things.
Oh, so he's Barbossa from Pirates then. Okay.
I guess.
Of this moment. I rehearsed everything I ever
Oh.
wanted to say to you, every word, to make you understand exactly what you stole from
And
me.
then when it finally happens, you just kind of clam up, don't you?
But now, I realize I don't need you to understand anything.
Oh no.
I don't
Here we
need
go.
you at all.
Back off, Kratos. This has nothing to do.
Well, I mean, he killed Kratos' wife, right?
No, she just died of natural causes.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
we think of natural causes. There could be some twist in the
Okay.
next game.
Yeah, because this
about
is
it,
the
but-
guy who tried to beat up Kratos at the beginning of the game, right?
Oh, I like this moment actually. Kratos stepping up to Baldur and actually trying to warn him off of doing the exact same thing he did.
I need to see some ID.
It's like, you know, he's kind of defending Freya, but he's also, you know, kind of empathizing with Baldur a little. I like that.
Well, we just established this guy's immortal, so why are we even bothering fighting him?
I mean, Kratos has been quote-unquote immortal people before, and it's more just to get him to go away than anything.
You know, you can't kill him, but you can stop him, you know?
Freya, would you stop?
Yeah, it's really annoying.
It's
just
also like
to
if you know he's
get something
immortal, why
done.
are you bothering? Boop.
Well, like
Well,
I
it
said before, it's
doesn't,
like
even if he's
just
immortal,
get him
that
to
doesn't
go
mean you
away.
want to see some buff guy punching your son in the stomach for an hour.
Like, at the end of Legacy of Kain, like, Kain is like, you know, there's a problem. He's an immortal vampire. He's going to come back to you eventually. So the final boss's solution to this is just drop a freaking building on him and try to trap him there. You know, if they can't get out of whatever predicament they're in, it doesn't matter how immortal they are.
No boy.
Yeah, I never understood why I never got the idea just to arrest Freddy Krueger and throw him in jail.
No. Atreus. You're bleeding.
Where?
Breathe,
Damn.
boy. Breathe.
What happened there?
he got the wind knocked out of him.
Got the wind knocked out of him,
It's
yeah.
the worst.
Yeah, that feeling fucking sucks.
But
Oh.
conveniently, we had the one thing that could undo the spell on us. So,
Kryptonite.
I mean, kind of.
It's fucking kryptonite, dude. I feel cold.
Yeah, it was a thing that was given to us. I forget exactly who gave it to us. Oh no, it was the dwarf. And Freya kind of freaked out when we had them and got rid of all of them, but thankfully we had one elsewhere on Atreus' body, so. So you gonna thank us, or? Okay, so we have a zombie giant now.
Oh.
Wait, so Freya's making the
Fucking-
zombie giant doing that?
Yeah.
Titan from Final Fantasy 15.
What was that for?
She's trying to. Well, she kind of is now very freaked out and angry at us for undoing the immortality spell. So
Yeah, she's not very concerned for her son.
In the quiver strap.
Oh, mistletoe. That is a Norse thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually how he dies in the in the actual mythology. Is they use mistletoe to kill him. I think. I only remember this from Devil Survivor. So I'm half remembering the SMT version of how Baldur is supposed to die. So take that with a grain of salt.
no, you can't. You're the one he's mad at.
He means to kill you.
This is like the epitome of why don't you people just calm down and talk to each other?
Yeah.
Well, they don't want to talk really.
I will not let him die. Don't touch him. This will all be over soon.
Just keep shuffling.
Are you doing this like with your controller?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, we just helped you. Why are you trying to kill us?
Mostly because we're getting in the way of him and him killing his mom. So
Yeah, okay.
He's also, yeah, he's completely unhinged at this point. So.
I like how the plot has gone so far off the rails from what Kratos and Atreus were originally setting out to do.
I feel.
there are a lot of things you can lead into after him saying that. So
Therapy's been going great.
So yeah, there's a lot going on in this fight. It's easily the most chaotic battle in the game.
Yeah, I mean, apart from Baldur being a general badass, you have to deal with all these waves of elemental energy coming from Freya, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of health, so it's not going to be a quick battle. So use your runes effectively. You know, don't, strictly speaking, wait for him to come to you. You kind of have to
I mean,
take the initiative a lot.
I mean, Jesus, his health is like not even 3 notches down.
Is this supposed to be the final boss or no?
Yes.
Oh, it is? So there's just more game after the final boss?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just a little different from what I'm used to for these kinds of things, but...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like I feel, especially since the PlayStation 3 era, the final boss is the final boss, but you gotta have at least like 40
I mean,
minutes. of it
sometimes games
afterwards.
go on for a certain distance after, like, you complete what is technically supposed to be the final thing. Like, Final Fantasy XII is a pretty good example, where there's this really long dungeon that is, for all intents and purposes, the final dungeon, but the game continues on through the Sky Fortress Bahamut after that, which is more like a boss arena than anything.
I mean, what Metal Gear Solid 4 is probably a primo example of shit happening after, like, technically the final thing of the game.
Did any of you guys play the last story on Wii?
I did.
No, I have it, and I tried playing it, then I kind of just fell off
Okay,
it.
so you finished it, Lewis?
I didn't finish it, no.
Oh, you didn't finish it. Okay. So when you beat the game, there's like 3 optional, like 30-minute long epilogue sequences after it. So I was like, cool, I beat the game, and then I beat the final boss, and then you're walking around the town for like the final thing, and just like, oh, there's like a mission here that you can do, and I'm like, sure. And so I beat the game at like 9. Like I beat the final boss at like 9, and I'm like, okay, I'll finish up here and then go to bed, and it's like 1 a.m. by the time I actually go to sleep.
Fuck!